Today is November the 19th. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 and we will do roll call quorum. Jean Messina?
Here.
Ben Coffin here. Mary Beth Craven. Elise Ellis?
Here.
And Zach Caloria. And we do have a quorum, so we will continue. Our first item on the agenda is for consideration and approval of the minutes from 9/17/15. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
So I read it. So, okay, I wasn't here, but I'm good.
Do we have do we need a motion or just?
Even though I wasn't here, I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay. Second? Okay. So we have a first and a second. All those approved say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any disapprove? Okay. Motion passes to approve the minutes. Our second item is for discussion and possible action of a disc golf course for Highland Park as presented by Girl Scout Caitlin High and Sean Turk for the recommendation of approval by the Guthrie City Council. So whoever would like to speak first, introduce yourself and...
Okay, my name is Caitlin, and I would like to put a disc golf course in the city of Guthrie. I have this Gold Award project that I've been working on for a while, and I would like to put in something that will help get the kids of Guthrie a little more active instead of just kind of sitting at home. I would like to have something for them that's free, that they can go to after school, they can go to on the weekend, that's available for them to have fun. And I mean, it's an adult game, it's a kid game, it's whoever wants to go out there and play. And I just want something in Guthrie because there isn't a skating rink anymore. There isn't really anything for my age and, younger to really do. I mean, there are parks that, younger kids can go play and go have fun, but then there's not anything really for teenagers to kind of do. And I think a disc golf course would be really fun because it will help with the child obesity and it will help just getting everybody active and a little more familiar with the community. For a while back, less than a year ago, probably last January.
It was in January.
Yeah, last January, Chuck Bayless and I and everybody, my cousin and my uncle and Blue, we walked around. Sean, yes, and we walked around Highland. And here are these pictures, kind of just like looking at, because Sean had kind of mapped out the general idea of the disc golf course and what we wanted to do, and he kind of took us through it, and we made notes about, what kind of needed to go where, what needed to be brush hogged, what needed to be mowed, how many launching pads would be where. We just kind of walked through everything and kind of got the reality that, everything that needed to be done. And then we had a Parks Board meeting last January as well, where we talked about this actually happening and this, maybe being a real thing, and trying to find the land. And we found Highland, and the city manager is super down for putting it in Highland. He's perfectly fine with that. He wants one. And Tuesday I went to Asa Nelson at Warren Monument, and he has 23 slabs of this granite that he is willing to donate to us, that all we have to pay for is the etching. And it's in the budget, it's in the updated budget, how much that will cost. And it's a fair price. They are so generous as to donate everything for us. And then, what else should I have? And the advertising for this whole thing. Okay, so in order to get this done, this is all being done by sponsorships and people just donating and trying to get their business out while I'm trying to do this. The city is not giving me any money to do this. I am trying to do all of it on sponsorships, on donations, on whatever anybody else brings in. It is, I have a paper. Okay. it's a hefty price, but it is permanent advertisement for your business, for everything that if you want to advertise your grandkids, if somebody wants to, kind of put in a permanent marker just for, whatever reason. And we'll have 18 holes and most likely one practice area. So like 19 sponsorships will need to be bought for this, and it's in the budget, thank you, as well, for all of that. And should I talk about the baskets?
You can a little bit, and then Sean can talk too.
Okay, Sean can really talk about the baskets. They are on this piece of paper, but they are, they're I didn't think that you would pay that much for a basket, but you pay that much for a basket. And everything, I have tried really hard to get everything worked out as to where we will not be asking somebody for this amount and then towards the end of the project find out we actually are a couple $1,000s short. We don't need to go back and ask for more. We need to just have the upfront amount, and if we over budget a little bit, then it's better to have a little bit extra at the end that we can put towards just like funding it and maybe grounds or like greenery and stuff like that towards the end, instead of underpricing everything and being too short. So
have you got any commitments in writing?
I have emailed a few people, and my mom's emailed a few people in Guthrie. We have about 4 people who are set on talking to me about, maybe doing this. My mom has those names. She has all 4 names of them. And then...
Because I think that's going to be important.
Definitely.
I think the price of the ad with, a 30-year or longer perpetual ad, it's pretty realistic. So it's more getting her scheduled to go meet them. And we couldn't really do that until we knew exactly what the budget was. So.
Is there any questions for me?
Do you have anything to add, Sean?
Oh, sure. Yeah, the pricing, my name's Sean Turk. I'm a member of the OKC.
Oh, excuse me. Would you move around and just sit here by her and both of you can talk?
Sure.
That way she can stay involved too, in that way if anything.
My name is Sean Turk. I'm a member of the OKC DGA. I'm also a member of the PDGA, which is the Professional Disc Golf Association. I am one of the co-designers. The other designer is Brian Hibbler. He is actually here with us today too. The price of the baskets, Caitlin, I can see how you can see they can be pretty high, but with the end of a Pro 28 baskets, I mean, you can't get much better than that. You're talking about a 20-year at least lifespan, and Innova carries a warranty on all their baskets. If something were to break on them, they would replace them. So the price on it is actually very realistic for getting the best in the market. As far as design goes, I've laid out a design course. Everybody should have one in their packet. It's a preliminary course. Keep in mind that things will change, but won't change dramatically. Anything can change from 20 feet to the left to 20 feet to the right, depending on, terrain. Showing how, moving it 20 feet to the right can make it a pro level hole versus an intermediate hole. And always, in the future, there's always room for, new pin placements. Our main focus is just to get this course in, get something for the kids to go out there. Even it's not age oriented really. I mean it's something for the young ones to get involved in, but it's for all ages. We have members of the PDGA who are 70 years old and still play. So that is a great thing, and I think, I think putting this in, actually I know putting this in Guthrie will be a good thing, and it will draw out of town spectators, out of town players to our great city, and utilize what we have here. Our restaurants, our hotels. Tournaments are always possible, mini tournaments, even larger tournaments. So I think Caitlin's got a really good thing going here, and she's been working on it a long, long time. And I'm actually very privileged of being a part of this.
Can you walk us through where's one and how it will it start? Where there's
Sure.
like a little gazebo and a.
As you can see, I don't have a pointer.
That's all right.
Or anything
I can point.
like that. Starting from the gazebo.
Okay, so that is hole one then?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that is the perspective hole
And it just
one
kind of goes around.
runs straight down the edge of the trees here. With the basket placed behind, there's another tree that sits right about here. The basket placed behind there. That is a 359-foot hole. Not very easily reached by, I would say recreational players. So it would pose a challenge.
I got one more, sorry, I didn't see that.
Second hole will run down the other side of this tree, so this tree line creates a barrier. The road is out of bounds. The basket will be placed down in this open area, down in here. So, being this a one-way road, all players will know if somebody is coming and will halt their throws. Majority of your disc golfers, I would have to say, in my opinion, 90% of your disc golfers are respectful of all, pedestrians and all traffic. Hole 3 is going to be our signature hole. That is the one that will have a dog leg left and will travel downhill and will have a view of the fountain. And that's what's going to draw a lot of the people, because they're going to see that fountain on there, and it's just going to be a great peaceful hole. Actually, Brian, my cohort here, he thought of that one. I was thinking of putting it up a little higher, but he said, no, let's put this down here so we can have that fountain in play. Hole number 4 has changed. We were going to take it up the side here, but we were concerned about the walkway here. The valley that comes up through here does not flood, so we would come straight up the valley with an elevated basket to the left. There's a plateau that sticks out about 20 feet, and it would create a great uphill shot. Hole 5 will be over here, and this is a walkway that comes through. It is 342 feet, but we can see people that are coming down through that walk path. Of course, we would like to put signs up saying, beware of flying discs, like they do at a lot of the Tulsa parks, and then at the tee pad, pedestrians have the right of way. Hole 7, we have found an area over here that is of course it is fenced off for this property here, but it's still owned by the city of Guthrie.
Now, is that 6 or
That's
7?
That would be hole 7 that is traveling east to west.
That's
Six.
Where is 6?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lost
Yes,
one.
I'm sorry. 6, hole 6, east to west. That is correct, right?
7's was,
7's just above
7,
west
yeah,
east.
7's just above it, west east.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. And that is 342 feet. Varied terrain. There's undulation terrain. I've walked through there. It's undulating. One thing that did come to my mind that I did see back there, that there's a gas line. So there will be, have to have somebody go back there manually and kind of move stuff around.
Caitlin is gonna have to leave. I'm sorry. She's going to Wisconsin with my brother's family.
That's fine.
And they're outside waiting, so I apologize.
I'm sorry,
She's gonna-
guys.
Thank you.
Caitlin, thank you so much for
Yes,
allowing,
thank you.
for allowing
guys
me to be a
think
part of
this is
this
gonna
and
be
Brian to
good.
be a part of this.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hole number 7 is very terrain as well, has a slight dog leg left. It's coming from east to west. There's an open area right over here, or actually there's an open area right here and right here. This would be a landing area, and we would place the basket slightly on a hill. So it would create, there's no straight shot for that hole.
So pretty much it just loops all around into the rest.
Yes, after that, it would go up and around the, I guess, the Girl Scout cabin, then down to the big open plateau right here. We would travel down the road with a large dog leg to the left.
Aaron's zooming in or something.
And
There we go.
Yes, okay.
And then you're up at the top on that other, yeah.
Yeah, this is a large hill right here, up at the top, so you'd be shooting uphill. And what Brian brought to my attention is that we wanted to use the cutout of the sandstone because it's so beautiful. That we would, we would give the golfers a break, to kind of walk through that sandstone cutout and kind of admire the terrain, that Guthrie has back there.
And then you just take that path and it loops back around to that other hole.
Yes,
Okay.
and it would start there, travel downwards. You would backtrack just a little bit and throw down. That one that would be hole
13, the very top was
Yeah,
13.
13.
13.
And then 14
Yes,
is that angle.
324 feet. The other one is a large uphill shot with a dog leg to the left. I've noticed with me playing, the uphill shots give a lot of problems because it's really you can't judge it. And if you hit it wrong, then your disc comes back at you. It just rolls downhill. Then there will be just a walk over here to hole 15, which would travel down into the open area behind 2 cedar trees. There's a large group of cedar trees right there. Travel right, just kind of back in a group of the cedar trees. So there'd be a block there, and it'd be kind of hard to get in. Then travel from the top up there down, which is 438 feet. Par 3, long shot, but the hole's gonna land right next to, I guess those are hibiscus that are sitting in there. It'd be a great shot, or a great hole. Next one's 290 feet long. It's gonna come down along the large tree and into the group of trees that are sitting right in here. 18 is going to be the finisher hole. It has a low ceiling, so there's really no what they call a hyzer route or somebody to throw up and around because there are so many low-lying trees. So what it's going to provide is going to provide a large challenge. You're going to have to keep it low and straight and fast. And the basket will finish up right here in this open area. So everybody can see, they can see a basket here, they can see a basket here and go, hey, what's going on in Highland Park? They actually have a course. So that's kind of a quick rundown of, the 18 holes. And like I said, they can change. It can change from 20 feet to 10 feet, just varying on terrain to accommodate the park, to accommodate anything that needs to, that has any concerns.
Yeah. And I was just looking through your budget on some of these, like the benches, it seems like quite a bit, 14,000 for benches. I know that we do a lot at the parks and stuff, or for the camping that we have. Would there be any way, Max or Blue, would that, maybe we can get things at a better price, even if they get the funding for it, if we could get, you understand what I'm saying? To help them on certain items.
I'm sure.
Like they
yeah.
might be getting from somewhere where we can get them for a cheaper rate, and if they still get a sponsor, maybe we can help cut some of these costs a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure that'll,
on some of these items
be
because
what'll happen.
Because that was budgeted at like $800 per bench, and then the cost to engrave the plate for whoever does that donation.
Yeah.
And so, just to give you an idea.
'Cause,
So
we
if you
go
can get the
through-
same bench for 500, then that's
Right.
300 more that can go into,
You see, that's what they did for down. by
Yeah, and those are the
road.
big metal benches, whereas.
And those came from, they came from the the Department of
Right,
Corrections.
okay,
And you can get a really good price.
yeah, okay. And I didn't know if that's, on
Yeah,
certain
that-
things,
that
if we
would
could
be-
go through and get a
I'm sure we
better
can,
rate on them,
right.
because I know we go through a lot of, out there at the lake where we put in benches and tables
Yeah.
and all sorts of things like that.
Something that I'd like to add is that at a course that is currently in development at DeLisi Park in Oklahoma City on 50th, we actually used some of the large trees, the trunks, and we created benches out of those. We had a person that is really quite talented with a chainsaw and created benches. Unfortunately, yes, one of them, I believe one of them ended up in a pond. We had to drag it out. And then I believe one was stolen. But, there's always that option as well. That, one or two of the holes, we can use some of the large dead wood and create a bench out of that.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on that? Is there anything you want to say or throw in, or pretty much everything covered? Or,
Do I need, right here's okay, or do I need moved anywhere?
you want him to move down there, Mike?
Yeah, that way you can sit down there.
Co-designer, buddy.
I'm curious, once we get this passed through council, what is the next step there? They're gonna wanna know kind of a timeline.
On how long it would take to put one in? I think we can put it in through the winter and have it ready to go by spring if, funding was there.
Okay.
As far as putting in a course, it's actually very easy. As far as, once you have your layout, then you just go in and do your clearing, your lower brush type stuff, and then, figure out where you're gonna place the basket and clean it up from there. It's loppers and, some brush hogging and stuff like that. So.
And has that been budgeted for
I was gonna
in
say,
here,
is
or
that in here
is that
somewhere?
where
They do have a budget, a little
parts?
bit in there for a big, it's called the Beacon machine.
Okay.
Blue's
And Blue was talking about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
You can tell them about that if you want.
And I do have a volunteer that will volunteer his tractor and brush hog at no cost
Wow.
to brush hog what we need to brush hog clearing. Yeah, do some clearing.
all the items that have been listed here, this is top quality stuff. I play a lot of courses around Oklahoma. I travel a lot, play tournaments, and as well as into Texas, Kansas, and so I see a lot of courses. And what's being offered here is top of the line stuff. This could really draw a lot of attention to Guthrie. Disc golf is growing at an extreme rate. You hear about fastest growing sports in the nation. Well, you're starting to hear a lot about disc golf on ESPN. That's because there's a lot of attention to it. She was saying earlier about how teenagers it gives them something to do. Well, it gives something for us older folks to do as well. Because it's not age oriented. It can be for anyone. The baskets that they're offering here are the best you can get. 20 years easy would last. So, I mean, everything that's being offered here, done right, will draw people into the town. And then once you get it developed, established, and where we can hold tournaments on it, well, it grows from there.
Yeah.
So this is just a start. I know some towns that have gotten in behind disc golf, and now they love it. They're putting in courses in 3 or 4 different areas, and now they're hosting world championships. And the town's bringing in revenue that's well into 6 figures.
Maybe I forgot something, but who runs this? I know you get to play. Where do you sign in? I mean, who's gonna, is there a little office?
Well, what we
How
do
would
is,
you-
if
how
we
would you
can
do it?
get a course here, we would start our local club. We'd have the Guthrie Disc Golf Association, it's like that, and then we can hold tournaments once a week, and that'll draw in people from other towns, and we can do that, like I said, once a week.
There would be some maintenance though. Don't kid yourself, there'd be maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the
And
course
that-
though, you want it
that
to be
falls
free
under
then for
us.
everybody.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and I
exactly.
think
You
we-
wanna keep
yeah,
it free,
quite-
'cause
yeah,
that's
we
what draws
wondered
the
about
people in.
that they're already so overloaded, but,
But
but
this is something for
sounds,
It does add
the
to the park as
community,
well.
yeah, and it's something that we'd like to do.
Well, it allows you to utilize areas of your park that does not get to be used for anything else. That's the great thing about disc golf. You can steer people the way you want them to go through your park. And it's-
And we haven't done anything in so very long, and I think this would be really a good thing. And I think our city manager is all for it too, and he understands. I think he's put one in before, and so he knows a little bit about it too. So
Great.
that's always good.
You'd be absolutely surprised, once this course is in, how many people come and where they come from. They'll
Especially
travel.
if it's been
It-
designed well and very
Yeah.
fun to play, very challenging.
It would cause more activity in the park. It would give, where we have trouble keeping lights on the trails because people
Yeah.
get back there.
Bang on
It would have more usage in those back areas. It would clean them out. It would clean it out and make it a lot where you could see through,
Mhm.
you know, it would, through the woods, and it would just be a nice place to
Just to enjoy.
But it would
For-
still,
enhance the park.
Yes, very
for
good.
those of us that walk those
Mhm.
trails, would it still be kind of natural?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And that's the idea, is kind of going around so that we're not throwing into the people that are walking on the
Okay.
trail.
And our main focus is not to take down any live trees. We won't take down any live trees.
No, they just
We
want to clean
removed
it
the
out.
dead wood.
I'm all for it, I'm.
Pull all the
yeah.
dead wood out of there. I have, myself have a couple of people who will come and pull the dead wood. If we can just, pull it out, they'll come up and chop it up and take it home for firewood. So, in that area, they'll come and help us out on
And
that.
I'm sure that we'll put out a call for volunteers, or
yeah.
Caitlin will, or
Yes.
however, who you guys will.
Usually don't have much trouble, finding help to put in a course, because
No.
there's a lot of eagerness for that.
We'll pull people from Oklahoma City. They're already eager to come up and help.
And just the same way.
Sounds good.
I've also been in contact with Sheriff Bowman, and he said give him a call whenever, and he will, utilize inmate labor.
That's good. We did that out at the lake. So the thing we have to do tonight is the park board has to vote on this.
So we can
and
pass
then
it on
we
to
can pass it
council.
on to council.
So is there any further discussion? Questions?
okay, so money wise, I know we have I don't know what our budget is, or what we have in our account. Will we
This-
use,
This is not in our budget.
okay.
No, ma'am.
None of that will, okay.
No, this is,
Sounds like they're
This
trying
is
to
it.
budget
Okay.
themselves.
So we're not coming up with any,
Right.
It's mainly just approval to use the Highland Park area to put the course in and for the
Okay.
city to.
and we're not in,
and I'm sure that we will get called in for some help.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty natural for us to,
It sounds like minimal, most of it they're gonna
But-
try to sponsor
right,
and
they're
get
going to sponsor.
created themselves, yeah.
And then after that, you'll have a park that's for years to enjoy. I mean, an event that will draw people in. You build it, they'll come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of our vision,
Fill the
kind of our
dreams.
vision was, once we get this one in, if it gets enough attention, you could even do a second one out at Liberty Lake,
Right.
because Officer Gibbs said there's quite a bit of land out there too. So if the first people see how much is drawing in and that they want that same type of advertising, then you could duplicate it out at Liberty Lake pretty easily.
Yeah.
So maybe a little more expense on the granite, because Asa and Audra had those 23 stones over there when they bought Warren Monument that they were willing to give, but it still keeps the cost so reasonable. I mean, as a business owner, if you're buying an ad that's on granite that's gonna be there for 40 or 50 or however many years, $2,500 isn't a whole lot for a whole sponsorship. So the idea was to keep that pretty reasonable. Originally, we thought it was gonna be around 3,000.
But then we were thinking we were gonna have to build a bridge over Bird Creek to get to the Kiwanis side. And our city manager said he'd rather us not do that. So that brought that cost down, and a couple other, we kind of shifted some things to maybe take all of that cost away, but we're able to take a big chunk of that cost away
Well, I think-
with the amendments. So.
I think Mr. Johnson wants the park to be the focal point.
Right.
And I think that's a really great idea, and that way people come to the park to play disc golf.
He wants them coming in that front entrance and really experiencing the park, from that side rather than an alternate.
See what else is available.
Well, do I hear a motion?
My motion, well, yeah, I like this. Let's go for it.
You wanna make the motion, and I'll second?
Okay, a motion that we accept this
I
to submit
second.
toward the city council.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And so we will present that to city council.
I'll try to get it on the first one in December.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You had given us a really nice pamphlet on this. I've still got somewhere, I wanna go dig it back out. It had a lot of info on it.
I can give you more.
Oh, I know, I know, I thought this was
Oh,
too
yeah.
interesting to throw away.
Thank you all very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right.
The last item on the agenda is for a staff report.
Thank you.
Aye. So,
Can I ask something?
Yes.
We have what I call a Halloween tree. It's beautiful during Halloween over at Guthrie Lake. You know where I'm talking about? Across from Lou Keel. It's a dead tree. It was perfect for Halloween because it's got all these things hanging. And I'm like, it's not his, it's on the side. I wonder, is that anything that's pretty ugly now?
We have a number of
Yeah,
trees
trees.
that we're going to get out.
Okay, that one especially, it sits there all by itself on the other side of the fence,
The
it's not even in the
cemetery
park.
has got several, we've got several in the parks, several at the lakes, so it will eventually get taken.
Okay, yeah, it's not anymore, but I think it was really perfect Halloween, it was so, it's got
Yeah.
have you seen it?
No, I
Oh
haven't,
my,
but
it's got all these webs hanging,
Uh-huh.
just like, and it's as dead as it can be, and I bet there's, I don't know how many of those things, they're just hanging there.
I'll
Maybe
put it on that
Blackwood
list.
City.
do you have anything for
I
staff
don't.
report? All right. Blue?
I don't have anything.
I think everything else.
No?
I
Well, I-
don't either, I think
I
I,
have a question.
yes.
I don't know if this is the right place, but I live on the west side, and that park that has the skateboard
Mhm,
park,
It's not,
yes, there's a tree that's been laying on the side.
it was down.
It was
We-
down?
We
Is
got
it?
it.
Oh, okay.
We got it.
I
We
haven't
got
walked
it.
down there in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks, so
Yeah,
I
we
just
finally
was
got it. Yeah.
good. I was just wondering what happened, did it just, the wind knock it down?
No, it was a limb that broke up in that tree, and what we had to call a guy in to cut it out of
Because it
the
was
tree.
huge.
Yeah, and then what happened was, we had to wait till we had time to get our backhoe over there to pick it up to put it in the truck.
Very good.
And our backhoe was down for a while, so then we kinda had so many events, we couldn't get back over there, so
Trees.
that's when the,
Well, I walked that street, so I hadn't walked in the last few.
yeah.
I have one more question. The flags, I love it, the flags that are
Flags
hanging.
beautiful.
And people have sponsored, has the park board, could we
That's-
put can we?
I don't even know who does that.
George.
Well,
Joe
my
Chap-
understanding
Joe
was
Chap-
that people have, they buy them, it was $175 or something.
Is that the flags hanging on Division
On
or the
Divi-
ones?
on Division.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they're
those
putting
are
up on the
nice.
posts.
Yeah.
It really, I like it.
I do too,
And I'm like, there's empty poles. Couldn't we as a park board buy one for $175? If that's what it takes. And
I'm sure if Joe Chappell's the one that's doing it.
Joe and his
Is it Joe?
Neighborhood,
neighborhood
neighborhood.
solution. Yeah,
Well, they
okay.
had, it just been,
Park-
I believe it was either
Highland Park
165 or
neighborhood.
175, they put it up,
Yeah.
you just pay for it. But I would like to make a motion that we take money
Well, we
and
can't
have
make
to
a
put it
motion,
on-
we'll
right,
put it
we'll
on the
have to do
next
it on the
agenda.
next
Okay,
agenda.
but good.
We'll put it on the next
Okay,
agenda.
to come, yeah, to maybe have it be, the park board has sponsored that flag. Paid for the flag, whatever you want to call it.
That's Joe's group that's doing that.
I'll give him a call.
There's no other staff report, and we'll have adjournment.